So, you think animals are cute and adorable like Mr. Bananas over here? Wrong! Animals are dangerous and deadly. What is up everybody, Animac here for AnimeUproar, and welcome to the second installment of our brand new series, Crazy Anime Theories That Actually Make Sense. In the last video, we talked about the theory that Toru Hagakure doesn't really exist. And this time, we'll be looking at the crazy theory that the UA Traitor is actually Koji Koda, aka the petting hero Anima. I'm going to argue that even though Koda appears to be a kind and gentle giant, that is just the perfect cover for the UA Traitor. That's right, Koji Koda is the UA Traitor, and I've got proof-ish. Now, even though the word crazy is in the title of these videos, and even though I said in the first video that these theories are improbable and they're mostly just for fun, we still had a bunch of people in the comment section of the last video getting super triggered about the theory, and to that, all I can say is mission accomplished. And a lot of people also got triggered after they saw the infamous Justin Y in the comment section of the last video, and to that, all I have to say is, Justin, why so serious? But seriously, on YouTube in 2018, the success of a video is no longer measured by likes or views. It is measured by whether or not that video has a comment from Justin Y. And I, for one, will be really disappointed if I don't see Justin Y in the comment section of this video. And now, let's get to the Koji Koda UA Traitor conspiracy. In the last video, I invited you guys to give me your own crazy theories on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar, links in the description, and if I like them, I will feature them in a future video. The reason why I ask you guys to go to social media instead of the comment section is that usually YouTube comments are filled with irrelevant stuff, troll comments, Justin Y, and so on, so I can't really keep up with every single suggestion you post here. Whereas on Twitter and Instagram it's a lot easier because trolls usually don't bother to go there. But I did happen to come across this comment on a different video that really got me thinking, so kudos to Jonathan on that. And as it happens, Blaboon Justin had the same idea over on Instagram. The big question that Jonathan raises is, how did Koji Koda pass the UA entrance exam in the first place? His quirk and a voice, also known as Bug for All. Oh, do you like that one, Nux? I finally came up with one before you. By the way, if you're not aware of my friend Nux TAKU, he makes absolutely hilarious MHA content. Be sure to check him out after this video, link in the description. And by all means, feel free to spam the comments of his video with things like Bug for All or Koda lied to us, whatever's gonna really confuse him and make him think what is happening. But back on topic, Koda's quirk and a voice allows him to talk to and control animals. But how could that possibly be useful at the entrance exam where you had to defeat large robot villains? I've heard some people say that maybe Koda was able to find a bunch of rats in the area and command them to attack the robots and eat through their wiring. And that would make sense in a real urban environment. A big city will definitely have a ton of rats living in the sewers and other places that we'd rather not think about. Except the UA entrance exam does not take place in a real city, but in a battle arena that is made to look like an urban setting, but it is actually all artificial. Rats live in big cities because there are a lot of people living there, so there is a lot of garbage and waste, which means food for the rats. In an artificial urban setting, there will be no one actually living there, so there will be no reliable food source for the rats. So if we rule out rats based on that, there are of course insects, naturally Bug for All, but it's unlikely that they would be able to take down robots. Especially since we know that Koda is afraid of insects, so it's doubtful if at that point in his life he would have been willing to even consider insects as an option. The other possibility is birds, and we did see Koda using them during the provisional license exam arc against students from rival schools. But regular students and robots are clearly different, and the only way that Koda might have been able to take down robots with birds is by commanding flocks and flocks of birds to slam into the robots, and by the time common birds like pigeons, which are quite small and frail, did enough damage to take down robot villains, literally thousands of these birds would die. Is Koda really capable of committing mass bird murder just to get into the UA?
If he is, then he is probably worse than a traitor. He is the type of merciless psychopath that would make even Hitchcock both cry and soil himself at the same time. And if we rule out rats, insects, and birds, the only other option is, well, probably not the only option, but I'm saying that for dramatic effect, the only other option is that Koji Koda used his ability for manipulating and controlling animals to manipulate and control the UA principal Nezu, who is himself a highly intelligent animal, but an animal nonetheless. Could it really be a coincidence that in a school where the principal just happens to be one of the extremely rare cases of an animal with a quirk, the one student with the power to control animals ends up getting into class 1A, the top class in the top school in the country? And all of that despite the fact that Koda's quirk seemed to be very ill-suited for the urban environment that the entrance exam placed him in. And so Koda, with his quirk being what it is, doesn't get into class 1C or 1B, he gets straight into 1A. And yet the guy who can control actual people, Hitoshi Shinso, ends up in class 1C. Is this really a coincidence? I mean, yeah, it definitely could be, and so far Koda has been presented as a very gentle, kind, and shy person who loves his mom, nature, and animals. What could be more pure and innocent than that? But if you really think about it, isn't that the perfect cover story for a spy? Who would ever suspect someone as nice as Koda of being a villain or a traitor? I bet that the comment section of this video will be flooded with people saying things like, "How dare you? Koji Koda is pure and good. Koji Koda is best boy. Koji Koda is love." And that is exactly why Koda is the perfect spy. And all of you who commented that stuff fell right into his trap.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Seriously though, just imagine for a moment the power that the UA Traitor would have if he had the ability to manipulate the principal of the school at will. And if you combine that with how innocent and shy Koda appears to be, if he was the traitor, he would have the perfect quirk and the perfect cover to get all the information he needs without ever being detected. And Koda being the traitor would also be a great twist, precisely because the vast majority of people probably wouldn't ever suspect him, so they wouldn't see it coming. And so they would all be very surprised and of course entertained by the prospect. So, is Koji Koda with his quirk Bug for All definitely the UA Traitor? We obviously can't say for sure right now, but he could be. It's possible, and that is enough to get this crazy theory its own video. That way, if he doesn't turn out to be the traitor, I can just say, oh yeah, of course, that video was just for fun. But if he does end up being the traitor, then I still get to take the credit for figuring it out. You see how that works? And if that's the kind of anime video series that sounds fun to you, you can leave a like to let me know, and you can subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know every time a new video in this series comes out. Feel free to share your feedback and your crazy theories down in the comments. And before we go, I want to share some of your crazy theory contributions from Twitter and Instagram. If you'd like to be featured in a future video, just hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. As I said earlier, over on Instagram, Blaboo Justin had the same idea that Koji Koda could be the traitor because his quirk allows him to control Nezu. Mahtab786BXC says, I believe that the traitor has to be someone who acts weak but in reality is as strong as All Might, probably Mineta. While I definitely agree that Mineta is as strong as All Might and that might be the next video in this series, as I said, I think that Koda also fits this description perfectly. No one thinks of Koda when thinking about who the strongest students are. No one thinks of him as anything more than a kind and gentle giant, and that is the perfect cover story for the traitor. Darklight5953 says, what if the One Punch Man universe is the distant future of the My Hero Academia universe? And what if Saitama is the 12th and current user of One for All? So that would mean the quirk One for All is what made Saitama as strong as he is, and the 3 years that he spent training to be a hero, he actually spent mastering the quirk One for All. This is definitely an interesting crazy theory, and I actually thought about something like this myself because I watched the first season of both of these anime around the same time, and I thought it was interesting how they both dealt with a society where heroes protect the citizens from dangerous villains. One of the two quirks that came together to create One for All is a quirk that stockpiles energy, so we could assume that One for All will keep getting stronger the more users it has. Obviously, this theory can never be confirmed because these are two completely different franchises, but this is exactly the type of crazy theory that fans love to talk about, so I can definitely get behind it. Over on Twitter, Savage Swordsman says that Bakugo's true father might actually be the villain Muscular, and the man that we see at the house is a fake. And this could have happened because Bakugo's mom didn't want to tell Bakugo the hard truth that his father was actually a villain. To be honest, when I first saw Muscular in the anime, I definitely couldn't help but think that his appearance, including his face, hairstyle, and hair color, were pretty similar to Bakugo. I didn't think about this while reading the manga because the manga is black and white, but the similarity definitely crossed my mind when I finally saw Muscular in the anime. My guess is that if Muscular was really a more important character and Bakugo's secret father, he would have had more importance to the story instead of just getting wrecked by Deku and arrested. But hey, you never know, Muscular might make a reappearance sometime in the future. Isaac McGee also mentioned the theory that One Punch Man could be the world of My Hero Academia, but in the distant future. Again, I think this is one of those really interesting, crazy anime fan theories that could never be confirmed, but is still fun to think about. Iron Rose has a theory that Shigaraki and Deku are related, possibly cousins. This is because All Might mentioned a resemblance between Deku's mom and Nana, and of course we know that Nana is Shigaraki's grandmother. The fact that Toshinori Yagi mentions how much Inko reminds him of Nana definitely seemed important to me. It felt like more than just a random remark. Shigaraki is Nana's grandson, so if it turned out that Inko was related to Nana, then Deku and Shigaraki would end up being cousins, and that would definitely spice up their rivalry even more. We'll need to find some more evidence for this before talking about it seriously, but definitely something to think about. And finally, TAKU on Twitter just posted a Lord Twigo meme, and of course it got 62 freaking likes. Man, this is so sad. Alexa, play. And on that note, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.